Who is Aris? Take two.
All right, Aris, who are you?
I'm Aristotle Kalala, formerly known as Aris.
Missed all my dates with the coroner. Remember the times I was going through life, but I swear I was going nowhere. But you were all I needed.
I grew up in Cape Town, South Africa, but I'm originally from the Congo. I was born in the Congo. I moved to Cape Town when I was 4 as a refugee and moved with my family because we were trying to find a better life. So that's why we moved to Cape Town.
That's what happens when you wait on him.
This is where I've been grinding the whole summer as I've got the opportunity to play pro in Finland, which is crazy to think of. If I think of the kid I was when I first picked up a basketball at like 18, I was just playing. But to think that I spent the summer just mentally preparing and physically preparing to play basketball overseas and calling myself a pro it's mind-blowing. But it's happening though. It is happening, yeah.
Look, I'm back and I'm better than ever. Can't have death creeping around in my life. It's so much that I had to sever. I told my little baby I'm praying cause these little plots have been getting clever. He said that he caught me red-handed. I hit on my father and he was like never.
Basketball for me is a means of survival. That's how I've been surviving, is through basketball. Basketball allows me to literally put food in my stomach. So for me, basketball is the survival tool to not only help me, but it's what I'm trying to use to help my family. Because I had not the best upbringing. It was rough being a refugee and just my parents having to work so hard just to make sure that, we all eating and we all healthy. Like, I slept in my first own room and bed was when I left South Africa to go to the NBA Academy. That was the first time I was like, I got my own bed and kind of my own room. So basketball for me has just been a tool that I'm trying to use to get to other goals, other avenues, so I can find a way to help my family and give them a life that I think they truly deserve. Because just as much as I'm sacrificing, I think my parents are sacrificing a lot too, not being able to see their son for like almost 5 years now. So basketball for me, it's a survival tool. So it's in my head, I can't quit. I have to keep going, because if I quit, then who's gonna provide for my family? Because I'm the oldest, so I can't quit because I have a lot of people behind me and not only my family, but also my city, Cape Town. I think I have a lot of people back home that really support me and really want to see me shine. And so having that motivation that I have the whole city behind me just keeps telling me that you can't quit. There's so many people back home watching you and are inspired by you. I've had kids back home message me and be like, yo, what do I have to do to get here, to get there? So those little things are very crucial. So basketball is not just a me sport, It's like I represent both Congo, Cape Town, and every place I have been so far. Like I represent pieces of those places everywhere I go. So that's what basketball means. That's what basketball is for me.
You mentioned your family. You want to dive deeper about your family? Tell me about your family, your hometown.
Yeah, so I'm the oldest of 3 boys. There's just 5 of us. We moved to Cape Town when I was about 4 as refugees. But growing up was tough. Being a refugee is tough because you're kind of in a place where you feel like you don't belong and you're just trying to belong. So it gets hard trying to find work, things like that. My parents really struggled with that. So we had some really rough times. There was a lot of financial things that started happening, and then the house just kept getting smaller and smaller. There was a time it was just one little room, but I think through all of that, I still kind of kept my head. I don't even think it was me at the time. It was more God keeping my head straight, keeping my energy levels very high. I never doubted anything. I never got mad at anything. I was just very optimistic about everything. I had a lot of faith, and that's what carries me through a lot of the things I do. Like, at the time, I had no money, nothing. but I still woke up every day saying, yeah, I'm gonna go make the most of my day. And so that's why me being able to actually say I'm going to play pro is a big thing for me and my family. Like, it really hit me when I actually told them, you know, I'm going pro, and just to hear the emotions, especially in my dad's voice, you know, it's very moving that, you know, God is allowing me to do all these things despite all the struggle and all the adversity I've had to face with my family and by myself. And I want to get my brothers through school. I want to retire my parents because they deserve that. They've worked so hard to make me the man I am today.
Then we circle back with tears in our eyes, saying, hallelujah, hallelujah, babe.
I think the next question I'm going to ask is about the basketball journey. How
Yeah.
you got here.
Basketball, the journey. So I have a thing called the journey. And the reason I call it the journey is because that time from picking up a basketball for the first time to where I am today, it's all that in between, you know, that journey in between that's really molded me into the person I am. You know, I grew up playing soccer. That's what I grew up playing. So my mind was never really onto basketball. It was just soccer, track. Tried a couple other sports, but basketball was the last thing on my mind till I was told to go play. I was actually forced to go play basketball, and I hated basketball for the first 2 years. I was like, what am I doing? I don't like this sport. And then the coach at the school I was at the time, the high school, he really wanted to work with me. His name is Giovanni Freeman. He really wanted to work with me. So he was like, yo, you can be great he's American, so he was like, you can be great at basketball, you can go to the States and you can go play basketball. In my head, I'm this refugee kid who's like, what is this guy talking about? Because I never envisioned myself being like, oh, I'm gonna go to the States. So after still trying to force playing basketball, I had one game where I had 28 rebounds, 0 points. 28 rebounds, 0 points. And the way everyone started cheering for me, like, oh, you had a great game, you had a great game. So I was like, oh shoot, this feels kind of cool, like, you know, people acknowledging me. Because with soccer, I was struggling with soccer. So to find a sport where I felt like a bit of appreciation, I was like, oh, maybe it's not that bad after all. And then I got a reference where someone was like, oh, you look like Giannis. You look like the Greek Freak. And I was like, who the hell is the Greek Freak? Then after searching him up, I was like, oh shoot, I want to be like this guy. And the reason why is that I resonate with his story a lot. Giannis' story is very alike to mine. Being, you know, a kid from refugee parents, growing up in a foreign country and hustling to try and help the family out, that resonated with me a lot. So I was like, I want to be like this guy. And that's where the love for basketball started. Kept playing in the park, played anywhere I could. Then I got the chance to play in the professional league in South Africa, the BNL. And from there, I started getting more traction. And then Vic and Alex, who are older guys who would normally play with me and always challenge me and help me, they helped me get in contact with someone who then got me in contact with the NBA Academy. I got in contact with the coach at the NBA Academy, Coach Frank, and he had a tryout with me, and he was like, okay, you have the potential to go play at the NBA Academy. Then fast track a month. I was like, okay, you gotta leave in a month to go to the NBA Academy Africa in Senegal. I got no passport, I have no money, but by the grace of God, everything just worked out within a week. I was able to go get a passport. So I went back to Congo. That was my first time back since I was 4. Got my passport and then flew over to Senegal. That was a whole new I'd say it was a mental battle, because now I'm playing structured basketball. I'm learning basketball with kids who are way more advanced than me. That really shaped me in understanding that there's actually levels to basketball. It's not just pick up in the park. So that's when I started learning about pick and rolls and actions, and mentally. The coaches did push me mentally, the coaches I worked with. Coach Junior, he really pushed me in trying to make sure that mentally I'm prepared for going to the US. 9 months at the academy, I got a scholarship to go to JUCO in the US in Texas. And that happened really fast too. I arrived in Texas halfway through the season. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm in the US. Another milestone that, we never thought I'd get there, but I got there. Came in through half the season, so now I'm trying to adjust. I'm this kid in a whole new country, whole new environment, whole new culture. I'm trying to adjust. I have the coaches screaming at me, it's like, you've been here for 2 weeks and you still suck. So I'm like, oh shoot, what am I doing wrong? Then the season ended, then a new coach is appointed. And next thing I hear is that the coach is kicking everyone off the team. So now here I am in Texas. I'm like, okay, what is going on? Where do I go? What am I doing? Then my mom one day calls me. I was like, oh, we just found out you have an uncle in Washington State. So I flew over to Washington State. Now I got to find a school so I can stay in the States. And I came across a basketball trainer, Chris Heeper. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just message him. I have nothing to lose at this point. I'm just going to message him, tell him my story, and see what happens. So I messaged him that night and then woke up early. I woke up at 5 to check my phone, and he had messaged me back. So now I'm like, oh, shoot. The guy actually messaged me back, and he told me, oh, come to the gym. This is where I'm at. We can have a workout, and then we can see where your level is. So that's what happened that day. We went out there. And he said, oh, you have the chances to go D1. So now I'm like, oh shoot, D1, what is D1? And then I started learning about Division I basketball. I'm like, oh shoot, that's a whole new tier now. But a lot of the coaches we spoke to, the D1 schools, felt like I had to go to JUCO again, just to develop. So I ended up going to Skagit Valley College. I was also learning the game at the same time. I was thankful to have teammates around me that actually were helping me. JUCO was a big learning curve, but in JUCO is also where I found my faith, where my faith actually started growing. And then at the end of the season, I had to choose between going to another JUCO in Louisiana or coming to Trinity Western University, which is a Christian school. And just where my faith was and how I was building my faith, I felt like going to a Christian school would be the best thing for me. And so that's what I did. So I came to Trinity Western University, where I played for 2 years. And I think that it had its pros and cons, but I think the pros outweigh the cons in this situation, because I think that's where I grew as a person. And I played 2 seasons. It was really rough seasons. I had a lot of injuries here and there, trying to figure out a system. Still learned a lot, grew, but something in me just told me that I want to do greater things. And so I decided that I want to play pro basketball. That's what I want to do. And it took a year of just prayer and asking myself, is this really what you want to do? Just conversation with God late at night. I can remember those. Sometimes I'd walk to school at 2 a.m. walking around the school because I'm like, what do I do? Because I was just in this place where it's like, I want to do something else and I want to do something bigger. I know I'm destined for something big. So I was like, I'm going to go pro. So at the end of the season, I sat down with my coach. We spoke about it, and he supported the decision. He wasn't against it. So I said I was going to go pro. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to message a bunch of agents. A lot of them just came back with, we don't know if we can do that, because my stats weren't the greatest, because I didn't play that much. So I didn't have good stats. But one agent actually was like, you know what, I'm gonna take the chance with you. And that's how my life has been. It's just been people who just feel that, okay, I'm gonna take the chance with you. And something I'm always appreciative of, just people taking the chance with me and giving me a chance. That's very big for me. Not having anything and still having people saying, you know what, I can see what you want to do and I believe in you. It really moves me. It's what keeps me going. When an agent said, yeah, I'm gonna take the chance with you, and I sat down with him and I spoke to him about everything, and I told him, like, I don't really care too much about the money in my first year or second year. I just want to hoop. I think that's the biggest misconception some people have about me. Some people think I want to be this big star, but I really just want to play basketball. I had my NBA dreams, I had my D1 dreams, but now I'm just in a place where I just want to play basketball. I continued praying about it, and more opportunities going pro started to avail itself, and that's when I knew, like, okay, this is definitely what we want to do. So I just cut all the other noise out and I just honed in into focusing on being a pro and, working on my craft. And then that's when Obin jumped into the picture. So I met Obin and I worked at JRL Basketball, and Obin told me, he's like, you can be a great player and I want to work with you. So to see him sacrifice sleep and time that he could be doing anything else, just be in the gym with me, it's really moving, and it's something I'll always be forever grateful for, just to have someone who's like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna put what I'm doing aside to help you get to where you want to go. And that speaks volumes about the community that God has put me in. It's really blessed me in so many ways. So I've just been working with Obin day in, day out, late nights at 2 a.m. But we've been working the whole summer trying to prepare myself into going pro. And my journey itself is nothing without God. That's the biggest thing, because everything I've said now leading up to now, my parents have not spent a single dollar. Everything just falls in place. Everything just goes as it's supposed to go, and it goes according to God's will. So there's nothing I can do or will be able to do without God. And a Bible verse that sticks with me is John 13:7. You may not know now, but soon you'll understand. And that's just something I take with me everywhere. God is a testimony, like it's a testimony in itself. My whole journey is a testimony, and that shows that God is in my life, and God's hand is in everything that I do. I don't know anything I can do without God. It's crazy to think of, just being now 24, and I picked up a basketball at 18, and I'm signed my first pro contract. It's very emotional too. It hasn't hit me yet, but I feel like once I get on that plane, it's really gonna hit me. But it's a blessing to play the sport. It's a blessing to wake up every day and being able to pick up a basketball and just move the way I do. It's a blessing from God. And I just want to use that blessing to continue to impact others and shine my light, in the world. I think that's the biggest thing. And just the goal is still to help my family. That's the biggest goal. I want to give back to my parents. I want to get my brothers through school, but I also want to help those around me that have helped me.
Less than 1 week from going pro. What are the emotions you're feeling right now? Do you have a message to your haters? And do you have a message for people who want to follow in your journey?
My emotions are at the moment, I think it's very neutral. It's very locked into staying in the gym. But I think when I speak to my parents about it, that's when my emotions really do get high. It's a crazy thing. Like it's really a crazy thing for me, being able to say that I'm a pro. Like I'm going to play pro basketball. I get very emotional, and it's a big thing. I know maybe for other people it's like, okay, he signed pro, but for me it's such a big thing. It's such a scary thing too. It's a very scary thing because it is a risk. It's a risk that I know God is with me. It's that type of risk. I know God's behind this risk. It's a leap of faith that I'm taking, and I'm just excited for it. And then just a message to, I know a lot of people will be like, message to my haters. I don't believe I have haters. I just think to everyone who supported me so far, to up to where I'm now, from people back home, Vic, Alex, Mark, all the people I played with at Battery Park, Mo, the Frizzlers, and so many. My mom, my dad, those are the biggest ones. My brothers, the whole city, Cape Town, the whole country, South Africa, and the US. Chris Hippo actually gave me that chance to come work out with them. I got people at Skagit Valley College, Jaron, and we go to Canada. We have JRL Basketball, G2, Gabe, JT, we can't forget JT. My coaches at Trinity, I really do appreciate them for giving me that opportunity to actually come to this country because I've grown so much. My homies, everyone at Trinity, the campus itself, Coach CD, Coach Junior, Coach Joe, Coach Frank at the NBA Academy, and just everyone else who's watching this and everyone who wants to be part of this journey. And if I've missed anyone, you all know yourselves. I know everyone who's been with me. It's a really long list of people who've actually, honed in and supported me and helped me in everything that I do. The list goes on forever. And to all those people, I'm just truly appreciate. I truly, truly appreciate that I'm able to go play pro. And it's not because of my own will, God's will, and also the people God has put in place to help me get to where I am today. That's the biggest thing. So to everyone who's watching this, everyone who knows me, everyone who doesn't know me, everyone who's getting to know me, my teammates in Finland, my coaching staff in Finland, I want to invite everyone into this journey, and hopefully I get to impact and move others to go chase their dreams. That's what I truly believe in. And whatever you have in your head or whatever you have in your mind, that's the biggest thing I preach. Don't let anyone talk you out of God's purpose for you. God has a purpose for you, and don't let anyone talk you out of it. Always lock into it. Don't look at what people think, Just pray about it, talk to God about it, and walk that walk. And so, as my college chapter ends, my pro chapter begins, and I'm excited to see what unfolds, and the journey continues. So, welcome to my journey.
Someday, I wanna lay down like God did on Sunday. Some days, I remember through some Sundays that way, yeah.